Ambassador Lepik, thank you very much for those comments. Have any of you been to Estonia, by the way? All right. It's an incredible place. I had the privilege of being in Estonia last August for the 25th anniversary of independence. And to see the progression of this small country with just 1.2 million people, it's really incredible. Your Excellency, this is Starship Technologies robot. Starship Technologies was founded in 2014 by Ahti Heinla and Janus Friis, who were two of the principal founders of Skype. And this is really Exhibit A in what Estonia has done with respect to software engineering. These types of technologies wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the forward thinking and focus on software design and engineering that happens in the country. These devices they weigh about 56 pounds. They travel at 4 miles an hour, about the speed of a person. Just as Skype democratized communication and made it cheaper and available to everyone, these devices are democratizing the last mile of delivery, which is often the most expensive, the most environmentally harmful, and the most energy intensive. And so the company's motto is zero energy, zero pollution, zero cost. We're now fully operational, and we are the only operational, commercially available, I should say, autonomous delivery device in the world, with operations in Estonia, in Switzerland, in Germany, soon in the Netherlands, in the United Kingdom, and in several locations in the US. We have, at this point, traveled twice around the world, made thousands of deliveries, and had about 11 million human contacts. So it's really a remarkable product. Just in closing, the device works very much like Uber for things. And so if you are at home, for instance, if you're in Germany, if you're in Hamburg and you want a Domino's pizza, you order your pizza. As you go to checkout, you're notified when your pizza is ready on your cell phone. You're able to follow the device on your phone. It sends you a text. When it gets outside of your house, you hit the button, it unlocks the lid, you take your pizza, and it goes back. As I mentioned, the radius is about 2 miles. And we have been extraordinarily fortunate in how it's been received. As the ambassador mentioned, we are working through how this technology integrates into our way of life. This device travels on sidewalks, and there are those who are afraid of the commercialization of sidewalks. But there's another side of the story. Sidewalks are often an underutilized resource. And just as we talk about the democratization of communication, making sure that sidewalks are available for everyone is actually an interesting concept. And so how might that apply, just briefly? Right now, unless you live in a particular community or of a particular affluence, delivery is not an option for you, is it? If you live in vast parts of this city, delivery is not an option because of expense and accessibility. This device is able to push grocery stores miles into communities and offer a cheap way to deliver food for less than $1, as opposed to 13. If you are non-ambulatory or if you are a senior, having the ability to have dignity and to not face social isolation and be able to choose when you have items delivered to your store increases and improves your quality of life and frankly allows you the greater independence that we all crave. And so to the ambassador's point, it's really our job, I think, collectively, to look for ways in which technology does improve our lives. And in this instance, just briefly, zero energy, zero pollution, zero cost. We believe is an excellent introduction to our market. We've been 2 years old and universally been very, very positively received. We want to thank Victoria for the opportunity to say a few words and to demonstrate, one of the late and great products from the country of Estonia. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, David, for coming and introducing it to us. Hi. Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So we are going to operate the device with a unit, a hand unit, because we've not mapped the area. But essentially, the device, as I say, it's about a shoulder width. It's meant to mimic a person. And to the ambassador's point, what rules of the road apply to this? In our country, just as in Estonia, in the laws that have been passed, it is viewed as a pedestrian. It has the same speed, the same mass, the same width, the same speed, mass, and width of a pedestrian. So in our country, it's viewed as a pedestrian. So the rules of the road of a pedestrian apply to the device, all right, in terms of right-of-way, et cetera. The device is programmed, as I said, to go 4 miles an hour, but it is programmed as well to have 15 feet of situational awareness through the use of cameras and sonic sensors. And as an item becomes parallel to the device, it's programmed to slow down. If an item is in front, or if there's an object in front, like a person, it is programmed to stop and to go around the individual. And I mentioned, with about 11 million human interactions, we have yet to have any issues. And so that's a real good housekeeping seal of approval for our software engineers. Now, one of the things we've learned from testing around the world, and some people think, gosh, can't you just do this in a laboratory somewhere and then introduce it when you've got all the kinks worked out? Unfortunately, life is a bit more complicated. And so what we learn how this device works in a warm climate with a certain topography and with certain driver rules is different than another. And so in our country, we have right on red, which is not a problem in Estonia. Well, so having right on red, and by the way, those of you who live in the district, you may know that not everyone stops on the right on red. They use that as an invitation to go. So we've actually had to do some intensive programming and additional hardware and software to anticipate the fact that people don't stop on red. And what does that mean? It means the integration of a radar system that gives us 80 feet of situational awareness. And we can actually, through the software, right down to viewing the eye movement of the driver in the car as an indication as to whether or not they intend to stop or move. And so it's really fascinating stuff. Now, we are years away, and we will never be at perfection, but it is increasingly in every 6 months, I can't believe, we double in safety and quadruple in quality. So, Courtney, if you don't mind, would you just demonstrate the device by taking it to the other edge and then bringing it back? You can see it has a 6-wheel drive. It has a carriage in the back, which allows it to navigate over a curb. And we have a R&D facility in Tallinn that where we operate in quite a bit of snow, and we've had good success up to 4 to 6 inches. Anyway, thank you all very much. That's our tech. You should see it. Those of you who live in the district, we are. This is one of our areas where we are operational, mostly in the DuPont Circle, Adams Morgan, Georgetown, Logan Circle area. But soon we'll have another permanent legislation passed, and we will be citywide. We're also in Redwood City, California, and about 6 other cities out west. We've received statewide approvals this year in Florida, Ohio, Wisconsin, Virginia, and Idaho. And out of about 1,200 votes cast, we've had 4 legislators vote against us. And what we've discovered is that this thing really brings the things that unite Americans together, and that is pizza and beer, because everyone views this as a way to bring it, or them, one or the other or both, and everyone's for that. And so thank you all again for the additional time. Thank you.